Come here and say, my bro.
Hey, listen, first and foremost, it's sweet to see you guys crying. But no, real spit. I think this game, I've watched Man United actually at the beginning of the season. I watched I think 3 or 4 games. I watched you with KJ as well, the Fulham game, right? So as watching Man United, I can't lie to you. I know it's gonna sound mad. I was actually impressed by you guys today. Let me tell you why. When I saw you guys against Fulham, the thing that you had, and I said it with KJ, I said it looked like Fulham were literally walking through your midfield. They were literally walking. And they were bypassing your midfield with ease. And I said, that midfield, that spine is awful. If you keep playing this way, you're going to get destroyed. What I saw against Man City was actually a game plan. The first half an hour, even though Man City were doing what Man City do best, right? The first thing I saw of Man United was high press and aggression. They were literally aggressive. Every ball they were anytime they got the ball, they were trying to press Man City hard. And it seemed to work. It kind of put Man City off a little bit of their balance. Right, the problem that I saw with Man United, which is I think more of a personnel issue rather than actually the actual manager issue here, is when you're playing your balls and it's getting to the wing play, right? Because you've got someone like Sesko in the middle, right? And I don't know what's going on with football teams these days. Can we not cross ball? Have we lost the art of crossing the ball in? Because that is just a basic sport thing that I grew up on. You cross the ball in when you're in the right wing or left wing. Now, what I saw with Dorgu is that several times he was in a great position. And I'm talking about all game, to the point that even at the very last chance, Mainu dripped one person, dripped another person, drifted the ball into him on the left wing. And all Dorgu had to do was just kick the ball across the field and into the middle of the park. Where does the ball go to? It doesn't be the first person.
First man.
And actually that happened quite a few times with Dorgu, that when he gets in that position. And unfortunately, what happens is when your team up front is meant to be well-oiled machine and you're using your wing play, that wing play, whoever's doing that ball actually has to get that ball into a box to give your team any kind of chance. Now, there was several chances that did happen though. Dorgu kicked the ball and he overkicked it several times. And actually there was somebody on the back post. Ahmad was there at one point and Burma was there at one point, right? There's a couple of chances like that where Ahmad in the first half tried to do a Wayne Rooney. You know, I wish he just stood up and just kicked it, but hey, he did try to do a Wayne Rooney, right? Try to have a little moment. There were several moments like that were happening, and there was a lot of half chances for Man United. That's what I'm saying, chat. I don't think it was as bad as it looks. First and foremost, it's Man City. I don't know why we're going on like it's a bottom league team. This is Man City. They beat most teams in the league, bro. You know what I mean? Like they're not.
Funny, you're getting called a troll in the comment section, but do you know what's really funny about it? You know, but you're being called a troll because they know what you're saying is right, and you're being objective as a rival fan. At the end of the day, there are issues with the system. There are issues with the formation. Nobody blames that. But you're doing what I implore United fans to do. Don't just think because the manager changes that suddenly those crosses are all going to start beating the first man and creating the opportunity to score. Because we've seen it with the previous manager. We've seen it happen before. And this, I think, was why Man United fans always end up in this weird sort of in these fights and these arguments. Is everybody just wants it to be maybe it's a desperation to get back to the top. And I don't know if you see this, Kojo, when you look at the way we speak, or a lot of us speak, everything's single solution. I mean, by the way, last year, once Rashford and Garnacho are gone, watch us cook. Again, the idea, and this is why I can't take the out-and-out Amorim outers, he's the issue people seriously. These are the same amoebas. They're the same silly fuckers who said once those two attackers are gone, we'll cook. They're wrong about everything. They're not wrong about diagnosing a problem, but everything they find is a system, is a symptom as opposed to the root cause problem. But sorry, back to you.
No, and that's what we want to talk about. Because I put in that group chat the same thing. I said, listen, I'm not going to jump down the wagon of getting rid of managers. Let's analyze the actual game and what actually happened. You know what I'm saying to you? And analyze it from an objective point of view. Me watching it as a Chelsea fan, that's why I was like, this Man United team has improved. Because you guys are actually putting pressure, and the way that you're actually going together to attack the other team in terms of even trying to make sure they don't have too much of the ball was impressive. You guys had a lot of the ball, right? The killer thing was just that when you are implementing your attacking plan, and Chelsea had this for a few seasons where we were impotent trying to score goals, bro. Like we had chances but can't finish the ball, right? All I saw was that when it is getting wide at those points, it just wasn't, there's no final pass that was incisive. You know, but when we saw towards the second half, even towards the end, Ahmad was having chance after chance. And I wanted to say, first of all, I actually thought Bruno played well. Personally, I thought he played well, right? He did his job. He was getting the ball forward and trying to play passes that were actually breaking lines. He was trying to do that, right? And him and Buemo, a lot of times on the right-hand side, were trying to do one or two things. But you see, sometimes when you haven't got other players out on the same wavelength, they haven't got the same the same kind of level of skill when it comes to tight areas, right? Sometimes when you are playing those passes, when he gets 1 or 2, this is actually what happened with the goal, the third one. They played a 1-2-1-2 in the corner, and it went out, and then went to Maguire. Maguire stuff kicking it. He kicks it with his left foot, and it goes down to the Man City player, and he kicks it, and Haaland scores. So I do see actually a game plan that is happening for Man United. I just think to myself that final thing. I just think that final aspect. Please just get the ball into the area, cross the ball. Let Sesko do what's he's 6 foot what? Use it. I don't understand.
We were crossing, but the crosses were crap. So like, it's
well, no, he means cross with accuracy. He means get your crosses on point. Yeah, like put the ball in the man's head. Seb, obviously you're an Arsenal fan. What are you here to say, mate?
Yeah, so I think with most things, the debate with Man United, so much context gets taken out. There's no nuance to anything. It's always polarized. So like, I think when you do have to give Amorim some credit, because the underlying stats this season, there has been an improvement overall. Before today, you had a relatively low XG conceded rate. Even attacking wise, you were creating a lot of XG. The problem was players need to step up and take some responsibility to put the balls in the net. I think creatively today there was a lack. It was a bit disappointing because how poor City have been against a high press. If you go at them within some intensity, they have crumbled, especially when you the blueprint is there to beat this Man City side. Teams are not scared of them anymore. But it's fine. I thought in the first half there was some of that intensity you were running at it, but it needs to be unified. I think having Bruno in that 10 can set that tempo and set that pace to press as a unit. The reason why Arsenal are so good at that is because everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone has each other's backs. We press as a unit, whereas Man United don't seem to have that right now. But there are promising signs under there. But Amorim still has to take some criticism as well. It's not black and white. There is not playing Mainoo enough is a criticism, dropping Bruno back and not using his skill set. You're keeping him. You're rejecting a lot of money. So play him where he wants to be played. There's no point keeping such an asset in your squad and then not utilising that asset. So dropping him, keep dropping back. Even when you look later in the game, when he was up in the 10, there was so much more chance creation in there. So it's just stylistically, the formation can work. I think that's something. I think Martinez at the back, the butcher. I think once he comes back, it should help a little. But because even when you look at Amorim, any 3-back formation, a centre back will step up into the midfield to create a barrier there, fill in a number, especially because how good Martinez is with his feet. He can distribute balls from deep. Not having him there because De Ligt is not going to be able to do that. I think he tries sometimes. You do see him progress up the field. You can see that in his heat map sometimes. He was using Sebastian Coates to do that at Sporting Lisbon. So he has it in him. But I think him being out, I think him coming back will genuinely be a help. But it is promising from United. I was expecting United to be a lot better because I have seen progression there before. I'm very sad David's not here because I was really excited to see his meltdown today. I came back from the pub especially, and he's not here, which is quite sad. But I think, there are promising signs. I don't think you should necessarily throw your toys out of the pram. It is Man City at the end of the day. You're away at the Etihad. Some Man United fans, I was seeing, just expecting a result today, and it's just like, I thought United were going to win today, but I was just a bit disappointed, especially because it just fell off. And then United, Man City just went back to their default plan of we're going to pass it around, suffocate you, not let you have the ball, which worked for them. But there are promising signs. I thought what City did was very interesting. When they went 2-3-0 up, we actually got a lot more of the ball, and then they counter-attacked against us. But equally, that's why I agree with you. I thought we could win. I'm not annoyed that we didn't win. I'm annoyed at the things Kojo said. I'm annoyed at the fact that we had opportunities. And even when 3-0 down, Ahmad squares the ball. He actually probably hits it a little bit too hard. We missed that open chance. We actually get a corner from it. Yeah, that's what I was saying to my friend at the pub. I was like, it's a good cross. He's just overhit it. He's just smashed it right at him. Right.
But then Casemiro misses an open goal a few seconds later. And it's been our season this year. We've missed so many chances. Aidan, obviously, you're a United fan. What did you make of today, my friend? By the way, there's a lot of super chats. We are going to go to them. A few people saying you overlooked mine. I haven't overlooked them. I'm going to be putting them up. It's just we mix super chats, panel conversation. We mix it up. Aidan, what do you want to say, bro?
It's the same problem. Every week we're coming and we're having the same debates. It's a manager's problem. It's this, it's that. If the same thing's going to happen, he's going to keep on playing Bruno in midfield, and Bruno lost a man for the first goal. Goalkeeper's a problem, which obviously Lamens is coming to help. But we can't cross the ball to to Sesko is sat in the middle. He's waiting for a ball each time, and it just goes over him every time. The only good cross was in Buemo. I can't remember what minute, but it was in the second half. That was the only good cross going into the box, and Sesko wasn't there because of a transition. But the thing is, people, I'm gonna get stick for this, but Amorim isn't massively the problem, because we saw the stats before the game. The XG we've created is very good. The players haven't been able to score in those first games, so it then comes down to defense is a problem, because if we're not scoring the goals, defense is going to be under criticism because they're having to work harder. So when we're not scoring the goals, defense is a problem, and when we haven't got a good goalkeeper, that's where it goes to yet again. So it comes down to a thing that we've seen it with every manager. We have a good first season with Amorim, we haven't, but we have a good first season. They then try and put their own system in, they fail, and everyone's calling for manager's head. Every time. I've said it before on many shows, but Amorim said we would suffer before it gets better. Maybe Amorim isn't the guy, and we then do suffer, and then it just doesn't get better. But the thing is, we've never tried to endure. Man United fans have never tried to take in the hard times to then potentially get better. We just want an instant solution, which in reality, what clubs have you seen that's gone from manager to manager and improved? Only Liverpool, I can think of.
Well, Aidan, you make a great point. There is no example that anyone's been able to present me. I've been asking for it for 2 years. A club the size of United, which is important to the question because of the pressure that comes with it, who's been as broken for as many years as we are and has been progressively getting worse over 13 years, where they've just made one managerial change with no other real systematic or structural changes, and they've gone instantly back to being one of the best teams in their country on a consistent basis. If someone can show me that example, I'll start to believe it's possible. The problem is, I think we're looking for rocking horse shit. I think we're looking for something that doesn't exist. But equally, though, that doesn't mean Amorim shouldn't be getting us better results. And the problem is, it's a feast and famine competition. I'll get called a politician for saying it, but it's because it's sensible. All a lot of rival fans want to hear is the word United is shit and dead and buried and finished, never going to come back. Managers crap, players are crap, because they get to go, hey, we got a little dopamine release. They get the wank sock out, and they do what they do. And people that don't like Amorim want that kind of talk because they want to just be told they were right. But I don't look at people finding the problems. Seeing and identifying a problem is only a fraction of being right in life. It's whether it's in our space, which is just talking about it, or whether you're actually delivering it, it's providing solutions. That for me is the interesting part of the conversation. And for whatever reason, and I'm sure Kojo, you've seen it in the Chelsea fan base, Seb, Ash in the Newcastle and Arsenal fan base, people are very good at screaming and shouting about solutions like they're know-alls. You start asking them, well, how would you improve it? And it's like the chat did it the other day to Dave. Dave wants Amorim gone, and I respect him for that. As soon as he said he'd bring Jose back, the same people going, yeah, Dave's right, he's a legend, suddenly say, hang on a minute, Dave, fucking hell, chill out a little bit. Now, Dave will still speak his mind, and that's perfect. But I use that as a live example. People don't like to provide solutions because they just want the support of the mob, the loud mob that wants someone gone or wants someone sacked or wants someone sold. So, no, I agree with that.